Hi everybody and welcome back to Roy on Rescue. I wanted to give just a really short message in regards to something that would normally never cross my mind as something that is potentially dangerous. But after seeing it actually almost happen, I felt that I had to talk about this and hopefully prevent a serious injury or death from occurring. It's amazing how many things that we have in our home on a regular basis that normally are completely benign. They are not going to cause any problems whatsoever. And then you see these little situations arise where, in this case, a set of knitting needles pointed the wrong way or not being carried safely in another bag could have easily turned into double spikes from falling on the staircase and puncturing the chest, the eyes, the face, the airway from falling on the needles. You know, my kids love to knit. Their friends are really into knitting, believe it or not now, and they're knitting scarves and they're knitting mittens and booties and all kinds of neat things. And it's one of those most innocent things you could do, and they forget that these pointed objects that have a needle-like point and a long shaft could literally become like a knife or a spear if they're carrying them. They get bumped, they fall. So we need to go through these different toys, objects, everyday tools, scissors that we just sometimes take for granted, not realizing that all we need to do is slip and fall. All we need to do is be surprised and respond quickly and jerk. And the next thing you know, excuse me, we could have an impaled object. And if it goes into a critical area, it could even cause death. So just a little tip I wanted to make a point of. My suggestion would be that anything sharp, anything with a point, anything that could actually turn into an instrument of injury or death, find a creative way to transport these things safely. On the heels of that, I also saw a child knitting in a car. An older child was knitting in a car in the front seat where an airbag was a potential for deployment in case of an accident. Number one, it's not a good idea to have sharp objects in a vehicle ever anyways that could fly through the air that we could puncture with. So it's always wise to have that stuff stowed away, stowed in the trunk, stowed in a bag on the floor, safe and secure. But knitting while driving in the front seat as a passenger, if the airbag were to deploy in an accident, even if it wasn't the impact, that could be enough to send those knitting needles right into the body of the person that's knitting. Back seat, it could be that because there's only lap belts, a lot of the cars now are getting shoulder straps as well. With no airbags, it might be a little safer, but at the same time, as you think about these knitting needles and jolting and flying around when an accident occurs, you just never know where these sharp objects could go. So not to rain on anybody's parade, but I think it's wise that we think about these things because an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. And if we can prevent these injuries from happening, it is going to obviously always help the outcome because we didn't have to worry about the injury in the first place. So, from Roy on Rescue, I hope these tips were helpful. They were on my mind, so I want them to be on yours too. And I hope it helps keep someone safe somewhere. This is Roy with Roy on Rescue. Go forth and rescue, and have a great day.